When we arrived in St. John, we thought we were just starting a long walk across Spain. What we didn't know was how much this journey and the people we'd meet along the way would shape the experience. If you're thinking about walking the Camino for the first time, this episode will show you exactly what to expect in those first few days. We're Jay and Beans, and this is our excellent Camino adventure.
We made it to Paris.
Getting to the start of the Camino isn't always straightforward, and for us, it turned into a bit of an adventure before the adventure.
Feet. Now we're walking to the RER to get to the train station.
Most people either fly into Madrid and make their way to Pamplona, or fly into Paris and take a train south. We chose Paris, planning to take our time over a couple days, but with an impending train strike, what should have been simple turned into 6 trains in a single day. So we made it to Bayonne. We are on a 6th train of the day, so it's been a long day, been up for about 41 hours. But eventually, we made it to Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, the traditional starting point of the Camino Francés. In the moment you arrive, you can feel it. Pilgrims are everywhere. Backpacks, hiking poles, all getting ready to start the same journey.
We're finally here. It's so exciting.
Watching you navigate.
Oh my gosh, look, they're over there too. There's stories everywhere.
After our long travel day, we settled in at the Hotel Remonto and got our first taste of shared accommodations. It's the first room. I got the bottom left bunk. This place was sold out, so Sabina's unfortunately in a different room.
We just left our first hostel. Jay was in a mixed room, and I was in an all-female room. Now we're off to find the pilgrim's office.
This is the pilgrim's office where we went in and got our credentials. You'll collect stamps along the way, and you'll need these to receive your Compostela at the end. You can also pick up a scallop shell, the symbol of the Camino, which many pilgrims attach to their packs. One tip, get there early if you can. Lines can build quickly, especially during peak season. To receive a Compostela, you'll need to state that your journey is either for religious or spiritual reasons. We chose spiritual, which can include personal growth, reflection, or life transitions. For me, having retired after 38 years, this felt like a life reset. We also learned about something called an angel passport, for those walking in honor of someone they've lost. It's a beautiful way to feel like you're not walking alone. There are several shops in St. John where you can pick up last-minute gear. Sabina picked up an Altus poncho. Highly recommended. It covers both you and your pack. And trust us, rain will be a part of your Camino story.
So we start the Camino tomorrow morning. We're gonna get up at 6, hopefully be on the road, on the path. 7:30. We're gonna wait just a little longer, just because it was real foggy this morning. We want to be able to see the walk. But tomorrow's supposed to be a beautiful day. What are you most nervous about, if anything?
You getting hungry?
That is a legit concern.
Yeah, I think so. That would be the biggest problem that we have.
We have snacks. We're taken care of.
About it. How about you?
Mine is really just my body cooperating. I've, maybe had some issues with my feet in the past. I'm just hoping that they cooperate tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
Did you bring any boots?
No boots. Mm-hmm. No, not wearing boots. Yeah, so I just gotta stretch well and hope for the best.
All right.
Okay.
Buen Camino.
Buen Camino.
Morning, Beans. This is our first day on the Camino Francés. We didn't take any pictures of our room last night, so I'm going to walk around, and this is living in luxury for us. We got our own private room in an albergue this morning, or last night, and we are getting ready to head off for our first day. You got any thoughts on it?
It's gonna be steep, dark, and chilly.
Yeah, it should be a great time, I think. Get ready to head over for breakfast, and then we're going to be officially on the Camino.
Woo,
See ya.
Camino.
We started our first day with breakfast at our albergue, and that's where we met Ali. She asked if she could walk with us for that day, and of course, we said yes. What we didn't know at the time was that we'd end up walking with Ali for more than 3 weeks, and she would become one of the defining parts of our Camino experience. Day one of the Camino is no joke. The climb over the Pyrenees is one of the most physically demanding days of the entire journey. You'll climb over 4,000 feet, often in unpredictable weather. If you're not ready to do the full climb in one day, there are two popular stops, Orisson and Borda, about 7 to 8 kilometers in. It's a great way to ease into the Camino, but you'll want to book early. We passed through Orisson after about 2 hours or so of walking and felt fine to continue on with our day. Stop one down as we come into Orisson. Refuge Orisson, first stop. Most people start before sunrise, both to beat the heat and to give themselves enough time to complete the climb. There are two main routes out of St. John, the Napoleon route, which is more scenic but more exposed, and the Val Carlos route, which is lower and safer in poor weather. We chose the Napoleon route and quickly realized that this was going to be more challenging than we expected. And if you're watching this and wondering if you can do it, you probably can. You don't have to be an elite hiker, just willing to take it one step at a time. We met people from 19 to 81 years of age, from all walks of life and all fitness levels. Everyone had their own pace, but the common thread was simple. They kept showing up day after day after day. Make sure you carry enough water and snacks, especially on day one. Services are limited once you leave St. John, and the Fountain of Roland at the top of the Pyrenees was barely a trickle during our trip. This is the official entry into Navarra. This is the split where you can take the steep way down to Roncesvalles, or you go around a little bit longer way. We're gonna go ahead and take the steep way. For the first couple of days, we recommend booking accommodations in advance. It gives you peace of mind while you're still figuring things out. After the first few days, many pilgrims switch to a more flexible approach, booking as they go. It's a long day. We've been out here about 9-10 hours. We finally reached the monastery in Roncesvalles. Some municipal albergues require online registration, like Pilgrim Pass or Aloha. Once registered, you'll get a QR code that makes check-in much faster along the way. albergue in Roncesvalles. On day 2, we woke up to a Gregorian-style chant playing softly through the albergue. And we began what would quickly become our daily routine, pulling our slightly sore bodies out of bed and packing everything back into our packs. One piece of gear we definitely recommend is a sleeping bag liner. Ours was silk, super lightweight, and basically acts as your bed sheet since most albergues don't provide them. We knew the town of Berget was just a couple kilometers away, so we decided to get moving and grab breakfast there. Breakfast was great, and we quickly realized that even though we were sore and tired starting out, once you get moving, your body starts to loosen up pretty fast. Even though this day looked easier on paper than day 1, it was still over 15 miles with plenty of elevation change.
How you liking this hike so far?
So far, so good. It's nice. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's not completely flat, but it's way easier than yesterday.
No doubt.
Yes, yes.
Most pilgrims walk somewhere between 10 and 15 miles per day, but that can vary a lot depending on your pace, the terrain, and where you plan to stop.
We are on day 2, walking to Zbiri. We've already done 9 kilometers, 13 more to go. It's a gorgeous day, overcast, cool, and mostly flat. A little bit of downhill and uphill, but nothing like yesterday.
At the end of this day, we learned a very important lesson. As we approached Zbiri, there was a bit of tension building. Word started spreading that the albergues in town were full. Some pilgrims had already booked places further down the trail, and one even asked Sabina to use her phone to call a cab. They were just too exhausted to keep going. Ali didn't have a reservation, so we walked with her to the municipal albergue, hoping for the best. And luckily, they had a bed for her. And that's when we learned something important. You can't rely on apps like Booking.com or other online tools. Many albergues hold back beds specifically for walk-ins. You just have to show up and ask. And even if they're full, they'll usually help point you in the right direction. So it rained all night. We're getting ready to leave Zbiri. It's probably going to rain all day. So this is the picture while we're still dry and warm. Heading into day 3, rain was in the forecast, and it felt like it could hit at any time. But for most of the day, it held off as we made our progress toward Pamplona. Walking on our way to Pamplona. A couple kilometers in, getting lucky so far. We thought we were going to get rained on all day. Have a feeling it's coming, but as of now, we've stayed dry. The rain has started. Ponchos have come out. It's not too bad yet. Good job, Blueberry.
Thanks.
Strawberry's making it.
Strawberry's making it.
Pamplona is the first major city on the Camino and one of 5 larger cities you'll pass through along the route. By this point, you start recognizing familiar faces, the same people showing up in different towns, all walking at their own pace. A lot of people had seen us walking with Ali for a few days and started assuming she was our daughter. So we leaned into it and started calling her our Camino daughter. And before long, that's how others on the trail were referring to her as well.
Hi. We made it to the outskirts of Pamplona.
Yeah.
We're going to do some walking, and then we'll get to the old city walk.
Yep, short day. Rain held out pretty much.
Yes.
So,
A little
all's
chilly.
good. So now we're coming into the walled portion of Pamplona. This will be where we spend the 3rd night. It's a pretty cool view of the entryway to Pamplona from the other side, where you can see the gates that operate the bridge for the moat. Pamplona is a fun city, and that night we went on a bit of a pincho crawl. Pinchos are small bites, kind of like tapas, and it's a great way to try different local food and wines. The best part of this meal is the price. You got all this food, 2 beers for $9.90. Municipal Albergue, there's Ollie's sticks. There's a Sabina for the great prize of 11 euros each. We get 2 bunks. And this is where we keep our gear. Cities like Pamplona are also a great place to restock supplies, do laundry, or take a shorter day if you need it. So you got day 4 coming out of Pamplona. We're heading up to I forget the name of it off the top of my head, but it's got the sculptures. And we got a little rainbow over here. By day 4, we were starting to settle into the rhythm of the Camino. Wake up, pack up, walk, eat, and do it all over again the next day. It's simple, but there's something about that simplicity that just works. This is Alto del Perdón. We are now at the peak of the hill for the day. Just came out of Pamplona, which you can see in the background out there. What do you think of this place, Sabina?
Amazing. Glad to finally see it in person.
Yep, it's pretty cool. It was a long walk up. Alto del Perdón translates to Hill of Forgiveness, and it's one of the more iconic spots along the Camino Francés. At the top, you'll find a line of metal pilgrim sculptures, all walking in the same direction. Alongside a sign reads, "Where the path of the wind crosses with that of the stars." This sculpture was placed here in 1996, and as you move from left to right, it tells a story. Pilgrims from centuries past, gradually giving way to modern-day hikers with backpacks. A reminder that this journey has been walked for over 1,000 years, and now we're a small part of that story too. From Alto del Perdón, the trail winds its way back down toward Puente la Reina.
We are in the middle of our day 4. We left Pamplona this morning.
Pamplona on the way to Puente la Reina.
Puente la Reina. Beautiful day. Ollie is back there. We just stopped in a little town and took a rest break and had some snacks, so it was good.
It was. Got a little extra energy to finish this day off. Got what, a little over 4K?
4 kilometers left, so we can do it.
By this point on the Camino, we had gotten into the habit of starting early. A lot of pilgrims head out before sunrise, grabbing a quick coffee or tortilla and getting a jump on the day while it's still cool. But if there's one place you might want to slow that down just a bit, it's here in Puente la Reina. The town gets its name from this bridge, built in the 11th century for pilgrims making their way to Santiago. And crossing it at sunrise, it's something special. The light coming up, the sound of the river below, it's one of those quiet moments that really sticks with you.
It's day 5. I'm walking to Estella this morning. We left at 8ish. Had breakfast. Met up with some other people that we've seen on the trail. Chatted and then went on our way. It's a beautiful view here with all the vineyards. So pretty. It's a cool morning. It was 46 when we got up. It's probably in the low 50s right now, but a little windy. Have a hood up so my neck doesn't get sunburned. But overall, feeling pretty good, thankfully. Buen camino.
Outside of Puente la Reina, the trail continues west and the landscape begins to change. You start to notice more vineyards, rolling hills, and a slightly different feel to the Camino. This stretch takes you into the Navarra wine region, and it's just a beautiful part of the walk. Stopping by some Vineyards. Got Jim out ahead of us. He's a retired lawyer from Tucson. 80 years old. Met him on the first day. And keep leapfrogging him every day since. So it's been a lot of fun. This is getting a credential stamp on our way out of Puente la Reina. On our way. There you go. Morning, Sabina. I actually got some good sleep. This was by far the nicest bedroom. We splurged tonight so that we could sleep good. And then the bathroom's right across the hall. There's actually two of them. There's a shared bathroom, but it had a washer and dryer. Living a good life here, right?
We are living large here.
Yeah, it's we think we're gonna mix these in every couple of days with between the hostels, which get a bit chaotic, and especially in the nights and mornings.
And we can turn the lights on when we want.
That's a plus.
Typical breakfast. What all we get?
We have tortilla served with bread and espresso.
And then we got a couple to goes.
Lovely, still warm buffalo bread, and we have a chocolate croissant.
It's expensive though, right?
€10 for this.
That's on bar. Good.
This morning we are leaving Estella. We're gonna go meet Ali and walk to Los Arcos. The highlight of today is the wine fountain.
Oh, the wine fountain.
Just before you reach the Bodegas Irache wine fountain, you'll pass through a small blacksmith shop called La Forja de Ayugui, where a local craftsman makes handmade jewelry and trinkets. It's definitely worth a stop, and Sabina picked out this piece called a pata de oca, or goosefoot. It's an old symbol along the Camino, often said to represent the different paths all leading to the same destination. A few more steps up the road, and you'll come across one of the more unique stops on the Camino, the wine fountain at Bodegas Irache. Yes, an actual fountain with free wine for pilgrims. And of course, we had to give it a try. There's also water available, but let's be honest, most people are here for the wine. Bodegas Irache is the name of the winery. The famous wine fountain. It's already empty. Got some.
You better know how to use it.
Maybe just try another pour or something.
That's okay.
Here, you can put the wine down.
Okay. Maybe he'll have better luck. Ah, yes, there we go. He's much more educated in wine.
The other side of the wine fountain has the Museum of Wine, which is closed right now. And there's a big church up here. From there, it was back on the trail, and before long, it was time for what we started calling second breakfast. Got a little stop on the way up. Ollie's got a tortilla. What is this thing that
I think an empanada.
Empanada. Great food, great atmosphere, and somehow, John Denver was playing in the background. We've heard country roads all over the world, and now here it was again in the middle of Spain. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Leo Sayers' "You Make Me Feel Like Dancing" came on. So far, so good?
So far, so good.
A little different terrain today. Before long, we made our way into Los Arcos, another day in the books. Entering Los Arcos. Lost Sabina, she's been on a mission. I think she lost her brakes on the downhill. So she's kicking our butts today. Main plaza and church as we're entering Los Arcos. Most of the albergues, you're required to just leave your shoes outside. So this is how we keep track of ours. This is the albergue in Los Arcos. We got kind of lucky. We're back in the corner. Got Selena down there. I got her bunk. It's all my stuff up there. And then we got Morgan and Ollie are over on that one. Day 7 in the morning, leaving Los Arcos. We are heading toward Logroño today. Already getting good views. Should be a wine festival in Logroño, so we're hopefully gonna get there in time to check it out and get some good video of it. This stretch takes you into the La Rioja region, known for its wine. By this point, something else is changing too. The nerves from day 1 are gone, and in their place is a quiet confidence.
Pretty awesome.
This is beautiful. Having a good time walking the Camino. It's day 7. And we're still enjoying ourselves. Whoop, whoop.
As we approached Torres del Rio, we were welcomed by the sound of an accordion played by a local woman greeting pilgrims as they entered town. This is day 7. We're walking into Torres del Rio. Up ahead, you can see it's actually an albergue, but in the movie The Way, they didn't have that sign up there, and that's where the gang was looking for a place to stay, and they wound up at Crazy Ramon's. And from our understanding, Ramon's place is up here, so we're gonna go try to find it as well. So this is now an albergue that is supposed to be real nice and have a swimming pool and everything, which we have not come across anywhere. In Torres del Rio, we stopped at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, a small, unique octagonal church with ties to the Knights Templar and centuries of Camino history. Walking through town, we found another familiar spot from the way. This was the albergue of Crazy Ramon, and he would pop his head through this little window. Pretty sure that's Logroño over there. That's where we're walking to today. Still have about another 10 miles, we think. Continuing on, we passed through the small town of Viana, a beautiful and historic town that's definitely worth considering as a stop, especially if you're looking to avoid the larger city of Logroño. Stopping to get some fruits and vegetables. Samina's in there paying for ours. So we're basically in La Rioja now. We've got a lot of vines here that have already been harvested, but it looks like we're coming up on a section where they're actually actively harvesting, which would be kind of cool. See if we can get some pics. Yeah, it's very cool. Big group. Looks like they've van them all in. Nice.
Very nice.
Hola. So now in these vines that they haven't done yet. You can kind of see the fruit still up on them. We're about a kilometer from the city center of Logroño, so we finally made it for the day. It's been a long one, but we are still out to find the wine festival. We arrived in Logroño to a completely different energy. The city was alive with its annual wine festival underway. Music, food, wine, and celebrations that go late into the night. But this was also the first time we really felt the reality of the Camino. Not everyone you meet walks at the same pace, and sometimes you have to say goodbye. We shared a glass of wine with our friend Jim, who stayed behind for an extra day. We stayed in touch with him along the way, and he finished just a few days after us. 7 days in, and already the Camino had given us so much. New friendships, unforgettable experiences, and the sense that the journey was just getting started. Next time, we head deeper into the Camino, settle into the rhythm, and start to understand what this journey is really all about. If you're thinking about walking the Camino, or have done it already, we'd love to hear your story in the comments. And if you want to follow along the rest of the journey, be sure to subscribe. Buen Camino.